Hey all, I have a Ambassadeur 5500 C3. I'm going to do a upgrade with Boca bearings. I'm going to be using Boca bearings, lightning bearing, ABEX 7 orange seals. And what I'll be using to do the job is a Phillips head screwdriver, a little flathead jeweler's screwdriver, my little homemade bearing tool that I made with a bobby pin, and a few Q-tips. Alright, now this video is going to be real similar to the one that I did for the 6500 C3, except I'm going to be taking the non-handle side off this time. So first thing you want to do is remove the 3 screws that hold the plate on. Okay, once you get the screws out, pull the plate off, set it to the side, and then you should be able just to pull the spool off. And this is why I typically will take the non-handle side off, because the spool shaft will stay in place if it's in good shape, and it just is a little easier to do. If the spool shaft does not stay in place and it comes out with your spool, you'll have to remove this tension cap and reinstall the spool shaft retainer that's inside there and reinstall it correctly. In fact, there's a chance that that retainer might not be good. It may be broken or something, and that's why the spool shaft came out. But anyhow, if it does come out, take a look at my other video, the 6500 C3 upgrade, and it explains what to do with this cap if you need to take it off. Alright, so your bearings are in your spool. Pop that gear off, and hopefully the bearing comes right out. If it doesn't, you can use a little screwdriver. I've seen people poke a Q-tip down in there. I'm going to use my little bobby pin tool that I made and pull it out. Alright, and on the other side is the brake. You pop that off, use your jeweler screwdriver and just put it up underneath there, and it should pop right off. If it doesn't, kind of turn the screwdriver and go in a few spots. You don't want to bend this thing too much because it's plastic and it'll break and you'll have to buy a new one. So pop that off, pull your other bearing out. A little shim came out with it. Now this shim, when you go back together, it goes on the brake side, and it has it's got a little bend in it, kind of bends up. When you reinstall that, you want to install it with the bend pointing up. Some people install these bearings without this shim, and I've tried it both ways and don't notice any difference at all, but it's supposed to be in there, so I always put it back in. So, well, you know what, Q-tips, this is where the Q-tips come in. You want to clean these holes out really good. Factory bearings are going to have a little grease or some oil in them, since they're a stainless bearing, and you want to get any of that out that might be in the hole. Just make sure it's nice and clean. You don't want any of that old oil or grease or dirt to contaminate your new Boca bearings. So clean that out real well. Also on your spool shaft, you take your Q-tips and just wipe that off real good. Same thing, might be a little oil and stuff that's come out of those bearings that you want to get that cleaned off. This one's pretty clean. So we'll go ahead and put our bearings in. So get your new bearings out. And get ready to put them in. Bearings should just drop in place real easy. If it doesn't drop right in there, then there's still some junk in that hole that you're going to want to clean out. Put your gear back on. It should kind of pop and snap in place. If it doesn't, you may not have it on there all the way, but it should be flush with the spool. Put your little washer back in. Drop your Boca bearing in and then reinstall your brake. Same thing on that brake. You may clean it up before you put it on in case there's any old oil or grease on there. This one's pretty clean and it doesn't have a lot of contaminants. Alright, so you're going to put your spool back on the spool shaft. On the brake there's a couple little notches. I don't know if you can see them in the video there, but they have to line up with the notches that are on the pinion gear there. That's what makes the spool spin, so you want to be sure you get those lined up. So what you do is slide that spool back over your spool shaft and just kind of wiggle it a little bit, and it'll drop down into those grooves on the pinion gear. Alright, so now you're going to put your side plate back on. Just line up all the holes. You've got 3 holes that are on the bottom of the plate, a hole in the center for your shaft. Line them all up and then reinstall your screws. You don't need these screws real tight. They're pretty small. I usually just snug them down a little over finger tight. So that's pretty smooth. That's a nice upgrade really to do on any reel. But I'm going to try to do a free spool here and we'll see what kind of results we got. That's a significant difference, even over just a standard bearing that's in good shape. That's really smooth. And one thing I didn't mention is you will notice when you put these bearings in is they're going to be a little noisier than a standard stainless bearing, but it's because they're ceramics and they're just going to make a little more noise. Also, if you put those in and you want them to be a little quieter, you can drop a little bit of oil in there. Boca sells a lightning lube that you can use. You just take that little orange seal out of the bearing and drop a drop of oil in it, and that'll quiet them down a little bit. It's going to sacrifice a little bit of the speed. It'll slow them down some, but it will still be better and nicer than a factory bearing. But I always install mine dry because that's what they're made for. That's what they're designed for. So good upgrade. Go ahead and do. Check out Boca bearings. I'll put a link in the description for the Boca bearing kit that I used for this job. Thanks a lot.